When my chest stopped growing, I did something that sounded stupid. I stopped looking for better chest exercises. I picked one movement and made one rule. I wasn't allowed to change it, only make it harder. And that ended up changing my chest more than everything I was rotating before. The crazy part is, most people already know this exercise. They just avoid the one part that makes it so effective, because it feels horrible. What they avoid. The part I'm talking about is the bottom of the rep. That's where most people suddenly get impatient. And that's a problem, because those few inches are where your chest is under the biggest stretch while still having to control the load. Wait, this matters. Deeper does not mean forcing your shoulders as low as they can go. It means using the deepest range you can control without collapsing, bouncing, or feeling sharp pain. Lower slowly, keep the shoulders stable, let the chest take the stretch, then press out from the same position. And the exercise was weighted dips. Once I stopped rushing that bottom position, the exercise felt completely different. Same movement, same body weight, but suddenly my chest was doing far more of the work. A good chest exercise needs to load the muscle hard and still give you somewhere to go once you get stronger. Dips gave me both. At the bottom, the chest is loaded in a deep stretch. At the top, you have to press your entire body back up. And because the movement is simple, you can repeat the same standard week after week instead of changing machines every time the pump gets boring. But body weight only takes you so far. Once 10, 15, or 20 clean reps stop feeling difficult, doing more mostly turns the set into a longer fight. That's when the real advantage shows up. Add weight. Add 10 kilos, and the same rep becomes a new problem. You're not changing the exercise. You're forcing the same movement to handle more load. And this is where people ruin it. The weight goes up, the depth disappears, and suddenly the progress is just a heavier half rep. The weight only counts if the rep still looks like the rep that built your chest in the first place. And once you start getting into serious numbers, that becomes harder than it sounds. Progress dies. When you reach 30 kilograms, you can't keep throwing weight on the belt and hoping the next jump works. This is where months get wasted. You feel strong one day, add too much, then change the exercise because you think the dip stopped working. Usually, the dip didn't stop working. The progression did. You need to know when to add weight, when to repeat the same load, and when one bad session means recover instead of forcing another jump. And if you're already strong at bodyweight dips and pull-ups but your weighted numbers have started slowing down, this is exactly why I built my weighted calisthenics system. Instead of guessing whether to add weight, the system gives you a clear progression based on how you actually performed, so you can keep building toward heavier dips, stronger pull-ups, a thicker chest, and a wider upper body. You also get the tracker and coaching for technique, recovery, and plateaus. The full system is 27% off right now through the link below and pinned comment. Same weight, different chest. Two people can hang the exact same plate from their waist and get completely different results. The difference is usually the position. If you stay very upright, keep the elbows tightly tucked, the movement shifts more toward the triceps. For chest, give the torso a slight forward lean. You don't need to fold yourself in half. A small lean is enough. And watch the last reps. As the set gets hard, your body will try to stand more upright because it feels easier. Don't let rep 6 become a different exercise from rep 1. Which brings us to something the thumbnail probably made you wonder about. It will hurt? Yes, deep weighted dips can feel brutal. Your chest can feel stretched, loaded, and on fire by the end of a hard set. Sharp pain in the shoulder, sternum, or anything that feels wrong is different. Adjust the depth, reduce the load, or stop the set. People hear deep dips and assume deeper is always better. The useful range is the range you can control and repeat. The goal is not to survive one insane rep. It's to train the same strong position often enough that you actually become better at it. And that leads back to the rule from the intro. Forced growth. I stopped treating dips like a random chest finisher. I gave them a real place in my training, kept the form standard the same, and made myself improve something small over time. One more clean rep, a little more weight. Stack those small wins for months and the movement changes. The bodyweight dip that once felt hard becomes a heavy compound lift, and your chest is controlling loads it had never handled before. That's where the growth came from. I wasn't allowed to escape by finding a new exercise every time progress slowed. I had to get better at the one I chose, but there's one last way to ruin that. Final trap. Don't turn every workout into a max-out day. Heavy dips are fun, so it's tempting to keep testing what you can hang from the belt. But if every session is about proving how strong you are, you don't spend enough time becoming stronger. Keep most of your work in clean reps you can repeat. Add weight when you've earned it. The goal is to make a weight that once looked impossible feel normal. That's what changed my chest. I stopped looking for a better exercise, stopped avoiding the hardest part of the rep, and kept making the same clean movement harder over time. So if you want to learn how to actually progress with this exercise, check out the link in my description. And weighted dips are only half of the upper body setup I use. The other half is weighted pull-ups. If you want to see why I think those two movements can build almost everything you need, click the video on screen now.